of God is sufficient for you. My name is Patience Daniel, and I'm a PPS Sparkling Diamond. Taking you back with my academic history, it all started in primary school. I was just an average student, but most of the time I was very lazy. I depended much more on my natural intelligence, thinking that getting C's is enough as long as I pass to the next level. But God being God, I got an A in my PSLE. That was before I came to the Gospel of God's ministry. And then I went on to my junior school, where I still relied on my natural intelligence. And that's when I saw the results. Like I was getting D's and E's on maths, literally getting 46 points, 46%, 36%. I'll get E's in Setswana, D's in Setswana, and people of God, it was a shame for someone who got an A on my PSLE. And I moved on to Form 2 in 2014, in which by the special grace of God, I joined this ministry. That's when I got introduced to the PPS initiative in 2015, when I was doing my Form 3, and I was part and parcel of the PPS initiative. I listened to the messages of the men of God, such as divert your attention from where it has always been to your academics. People of God, my attention was, I was very lazy, and people of God, I was chatting with friends, classmates, making noise in class. I was just doing all manners of like things that are not really, really serious. And it made my academics to deteriorate. But after attending the PPS meeting, people of God, I got encouraged. I got encouraged such that I just wanted to pass. I did everything. I worked hard to an extent at which even after study, after school, I would ask one of the teachers who was teaching maths. She was not my math teacher, but I just asked her to remain behind and help me. And by the special grace of God, due to listening to the messages of the man of God and being obedient, I managed to get a grade A in my JCE. People of God, I moved on to senior school, in which I was doing my senior school in Gaborone, and there I was meeting very, very brilliant students. I was privileged to do the pure science. I continued with the spirit of hard work that the man of God taught us, and in that year he continued to meet us as his children. And he gave us messages such as sacrifice your present for the sake of your future. People of God, I was one of those students who are called boring. I really, really took the messages of the men of God to heart, and whatever my classmates would say or my mates would say, it wasn't really, really getting into my heart. I knew what I was doing. I knew the results, and I knew the results of working hard from my JCE. And by the special grace of God, in my Form 5, I got 43 points. People of God, there came where I have to choose my career. Not only choosing my career, but in tertiary, that's where you meet the devil head on. That's why you see all kinds of situations. You, like literally, you see everything. You see students getting into drugs, students partying, getting into social media, speaking anyhow. That was the life that how I was seeing in my tertiary education. But because I knew where I was coming from, I knew the foundation that the man of God gave as his students. I continued to forge on. I continued to work hard. Even if it was difficult, people of God, I was trying my best. I went to an extent of asking help from students that I knew they were very good, remaining on weekends, working hard, waking up at 11, going to the library, like giving all, my all, and I was not pressured with what was happening.
Before you continue, you're welcome to tell us. You said that you'd gone to tertiary. Where were you at the time? What were you studying?
I was doing Bachelor of Science General, with hope that I'm going to do, I'm going to study as a doctor.
You're welcome to continue.
People of God, the competition of going into the doctoral degree or MBBSS is very, like, the competition is very, very high. I didn't make it, but God had a better plan for me, a very, very better plan for me. That's where I dived deep into my heart. Which career should I go to, or which career path should I embark on? I thought of doing chemical engineering because I really liked both the three sciences, and I wanted something that could apply all the three sciences at a large scale. Something came into my heart to do chemical engineering, and I went ahead. I was admitted for Bachelor's of Engineering in Chemical Engineering at Botswana International University of Science and Technology in Palape. People of God, I began my journey in Boost at my second year. Remember that I already did my BSc General at the University of Botswana. People of God, it was really not an easy journey to transition from one tertiary to the other, especially that the first year is more or less, it's not really the same. There are courses that I didn't do at my first year. So it meant that in my second year, I had to do some courses of first year, and also I had to do some courses of second year. Like I would do modules around 8, while other students were doing 6. It was a very hard journey, but I remembered where I was coming from. I remembered that I'm a PPS diamond. I remembered that the man of God continued to say that even if it is hard, just do your part. Genuine willingness plus God's ability calls for excellence. You might not see the results as of now, but if you continue being consistent, if you continue being obedient, if you continue sacrificing your future, sacrificing your present for the sake of your future, definitely something good will come out. Excellence will come out. People of God, I began continue working hard, though sometimes I was getting very, very low grades, such as getting a GPA of 2.6, 2.7 out of 5. But I continued to forge on, doing group works, asking help from lecturers, doing my assignments, and really showing God that I know, I believe that you are with me, but here I am doing my own part. And by the grace of God, I graduated in the year 2023 with the degree of Bachelor's of Engineering, Chemical Engineering, with no retake, people of God. My mother received a call on behalf of me. The call, it was on a loudspeaker. It was saying, is it Patience Daniel? And then my mother said, I'm her mother, but talk to her. I woke up from my sleep and I said, yes, this is Patience Daniel. They were saying, we want you to submit your documents today. Then I submitted, people of God, via email. I was really shocked. And then I gave them everything. And with the little doubt that I had, I was like, they will keep quiet again. But it was on a Monday, and then on Wednesday, I received an email that tomorrow I have to be at Massa Hotel for my interview, 8 o'clock. Full of God, it was a shock. People of God, the following week, it was on a Friday, I received an urgent email again. They were saying, can you kindly give us your cell number? I gave them my cell number. They called me. They said, this weekend, you are supposed to report to Johnny for your medical exams. And that weekend, I went to do my medicals. And during my medicals, people of God, I had a dream where the man of God asked me, I was in a prayer line, and she asked one of the ushers, he said, what is she doing now, this one? I told the man of God that I was called for the interview, but I'm having a problem with my medicals. And then he said, don't worry, they will take you. And God being God, that was October, and in December, on the 4th, December 2023, I received my offer letter.
So, sister, you're welcome to tell us, what did you join this company as?
I joined as a learner official, metallurgist in training. By then, it was a fixed-term contract. It was supposed to end in January 2026. And I thanked God. I remember I knelt down, I prayed, I thanked God, I cried. I could see that the grace of God is imminent, and I could see that the only thing that I owe God is to give more to Him, to be more devoted to Him. Yes, so it continued like that on a fixed-term contract, and a year passed. So before we went to the crossover, in fact, during the crossover in Maun, I was in a guest house, and I was with some of the sisters that we shared the guest house that we went to crossover with. So we were making some declarations. So one of my declarations, I was telling them that I don't know how this, I don't have a sign, but by the special grace of God, with the grace that we are under, and me attending the crossover candlelight, the power is so imminent, and I want to believe that God will do something before the year ends, and I will be permanent. Somehow, I don't know how, but somehow. It didn't take long, and in February, people of God, remember that I was left with 11 months before my fixed-term contract ends, which was supposed to end next year in January. So which meant that I was either going back home, or if I was to be absorbed, I was going to be absorbed under another fixed-term contract. But God being God, I was transitioned on a permanent and pensionable basis.
Our hands together for Master Jesus. Those hands can be louder and better for Jesus Christ.
So this is my certificate, Daniel Patience, having fulfilled the requirements for the completion of the degree as prescribed by Senate, is awarded the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Chemical Engineering at a congregation held on the 22nd of September 2023. This is my confirmation of employment. That was on a fixed-term contract. You can see that date of employment, it means that the date you resumed work. So which was on the 15th of January, which was on the 15th of January, and it was supposed to end on the 14th of January 2026. The people of God, I forgot to mention that by the special grace of God, I managed to buy myself a car. by the special grace of God, I'm currently the breadwinner of my family. And also, my sister managed to take my advice, and I'm taking her to school and also taking care of everyone at home. This is by the special grace of God. And this is the offer of employment, which is now, it's no longer a subsidiary, it's the parent company. We have a pleasure in offering you employment as a learner official with effect from 1st of February 2025. So this is to show you that this was God, like God had opened a door for me. What you are getting from here, from the Gospel of God's Grace Ministries, especially with the PPS program, is an invaluable experience. Invaluable meaning is priceless. The reason why I'm saying it's priceless is that your children, when they are now old and working, whatever challenges they're going to get at work, you can just imagine the male-dominated environment that I'm in. But because of the foundation that the man of God has put in us, I'm not pressured at all. Even at work, they even ask me, why can't we see you at the clubs there on a Friday? What's happening? I tell them, I'm just like this because of the teachings at church by the man of God, Prophet Cedric, and I'm enjoying myself like this. I'm not. And this is to encourage the parents, to encourage their children to embark to the PPS program and continue being obedient. And my fellow youngsters, please be obedient and study hard, follow your goals, and remember that genuine willingness plus God's ability equals to excellence.
Sister, we thank God for your wonderful, wonderful testimony and can only encourage you to continue clinging onto the very God who raised you up from where you once were to where you are right now. Life is only for Him and through Him. Continue in the way of the Lord, and surely the best is yet to come in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Jesus.